Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, dude. Welcome to the first Double J podcast. JAMES. One double J's on his way out. We'll bring another one on the way in, baby.
Correct.
Let's do it.
Funny thing. MJF said to him the other day. He said something along the lines of, "The last thing you see is Double J Jeff Jarrett before the company folds," or something along
Oh
those
yeah,
lines.
like he was a company killer.
Yeah.
And dude, there's not a lot of lies in that.
No, there's
Right?
not.
I love that MJF also said I didn't have to have my daddy buy me a wrestling company. MJF is brutal, dude. Can't wait for him to come to the WWE.
I know. It's just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time, dude. And it's going to be ridiculous. We're going to get into Smackdown highs, but you know what? Let's, for a second, because you and I talked about this off air.
Sure.
There's a tremendous difference, right? And if we want to take, let's say, guys that went from the WWE to AEW, and like whatever you like, who gives a shit, right? But like Rusev leaves the WWE as like the angry Bulgarian, and he shows up in AEW as a video gamer of some kind.
Day to man's best friend.
Like the best man or whatever it was.
Best man,
right?
sorry, yeah.
So in one night, the WWE got Pentagon over harder and better than Tony Khan could do in 5 years.
Correct.
Imagine what they'll do with MJF.
With Edge.
Yeah.
With the Big Show. With Christian. With whomever, as you mentioned. Yeah, Penta, fantastic. 10 out of 10. Loved it.
Yeah. And we know Phoenix is coming, which is, oh my God.
Like, ripped his merchandise off the shelf. Tony Khan, man. Piece of shit.
Tony Khan, he went complete piece of shit on this. For a guy that's like, oh, it's wrestling. You know, we just want guys to have fun. And like, he legit just like yanked Phoenix into this stuff. And he's going to hold it. And, but I mean, like literally the guys who went over there, I mean, Adam Cole is struggling. I mean, they're trying to get the United, whatever empire thing up and going with him and Kyle O'Reilly. Right. And it's, you know, I mean, dude, Malachi Black. Now there is rumblings that Malachi's coming back.
Let's hope and pray.
Let's go. Triple H and the way he portrayed him in NXT. Mm-hmm. Oh, Malachi Black on the main. Oh God, dude.
Not too great, but
we're lucky to be. We're lucky to be in a new era, man.
We are. 100%.
It's funny, you know. You and I have talked many times about like the curve of wrestling that we've been through, right? Mm-hmm. Like the old school wrestling where you were more north and it was the WWE sort of thing, and they went all cosplay, and I was in the South, right? I was down with the NWA with Ric Flair and Sting and good stuff. But then we had the Monday Night Wars.
Yes.
And that was gorgeous for everybody.
For everyone.
And then it kind of flatlined a little bit. And AEW did jumpstart, like put a little fire.
Yep, correct. Put a little fire under their ass.
And then you get rid of the awful, horrible human being, Vince McMahon. Like we used to think on air he was a bad person.
Correct.
Who would have thought his character off air was much
worse? So much worse. God, man.
Like, give me who's making people just kiss his ass in the middle of the ring.
William Regal, Shane, Sean.
Yeah, let's just stay there, dude.
Yeah, this is so bad. So
SmackDown, man, moving in toward the Royal Rumble. We only have one more we have two more SmackDowns, right? Two more.
We do. We have a main event next week, and then the Royal Rumble, which I think someone's going to.
Yes, sir. Heading to Indianapolis, my friend. Maybe I'll get us some video footage of this.
Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic.
I've told you the story, but it's so blessed, man. Literally, once the Monday Night Wars ended, you and I both know, it wasn't cool to be a wrestling fan anymore. So we went from like everybody was wearing NWO shirts to like nobody liked anything.
Nope.
But you and I, we were still like low key underneath this. Like we still watch Raw, right? We still
It was.
right.
We did.
So
I am not gonna lie though, there was a point in time, I would say it was about like the PG era. Like when KO and Sammy first got into it, Natalia being champion, Charlotte coming in, Becky even coming in. I didn't watch it really.
it was hard.
It was. I had other obligations, let's say.
So I kind of checked out of it, and you met my little rugrat, but he's 9, and at like 6 years old, all of a sudden he's watching YouTube videos, and people were like doing Royal Rumbles. They were just putting characters in a ring and like shaking it till people went out, and he was all about them. And he was watching them over and over and over again. Now I'm still paying for the WWE Network, so I'm like, hey, that's a real match, right?
Yeah.
Huh? And now me and Jackson just couched up, dude. Every night he was here, we'd watch a new Rumble and we'd choose people and go over. So he loves the Rumble. My birthday's January 26th. So it's always near the Rumble, right? So Christmas / Rumble, me and the little man make a trip, go check out a city. This one's going to be ridiculous. Our first Royal Rumble was in St. Louis.
Right.
And it was horrible. That's the one where Brock came back.
Oh.
And like Ronda Rousey won the women's and Brock came back. It was so bad. He didn't know, but it was bad.
It was. He didn't need it, man. He didn't need it. She didn't need it, but it was the time back then.
Well, but it was one of those. It was one of those where it was like you could say, oh yeah, that was where Shane came in and looked like a Superman. Like Shane was just tossing people in St. Louis. Right. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And then didn't Brock toss him out though?
Yes.
Because he was it was supposed to be Riddle and Shane. Shane didn't want that to happen. So he started fucking with Riddle. Riddle was supposed to throw him out. He did something to Brock, and Brock was just like, all right, nah, man, and just toss his ass.
Just be done, right? But that was one of those that was kind of predictable. But you and I were just speaking before again, man, like this year's Rumble, it really is wide ass open. I mean, there's so many storylines, and we'll see a lot of that going through this. Everybody's tied into something, right? Mm-hmm. But when you put Seth, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, John Cena. I mean, like just those 5 in the Rumble, and you can feel the other 25 around it. This one's gonna be different, dude.
It is going to be different. It really is. I mean, Rey Mysterio coming back. He was mentioning when he won it. I was there. I went to that one.
Oh, were you?
2006. Oh, I was there.
That was right after Eddie. Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my god. Second entrant. Oh, this is going to be great, fantastic for this little.
Yeah,
man. That was awesome.
Think about with that one we're talking about Ray, but John Cena's like promo. He made me buy in the other night. That's how good this dude is. Because I'm like, wait a second. There's a story there.
It makes so much more sense now.
Right. He wins that. He challenges Gunther, maybe.
See, you're going this way. I have something, so continue.
Right. So he goes to Gunther, and then actually could win that, right? Because Gunther will get it right back, and if Gunther loses to the all-time whatever, right? So that was my angle on it, where I'm like, wow, like Cena could tie this Flair thing, and I mean, I bought in. Which chances are Cena's not winning it. But all of a sudden, in the back of my head, I'm like, maybe.
There is a chance.
Yeah.
There could be a chance.
Yeah. Which way are you going?
So I'm going, he's not winning the Rumble at all. There's no chance. There's no chance in hell.
Probably right.
He hints at, this is going to be my last Rumble. This is going to be my last Elimination Chamber. Buddy, you're not going to the Elimination Chamber if you win the Rumble.
Oh, good call.
So that's out of there. It can be your last SummerSlam. It can be your last Night of Champions, whatever you want to have. But something's going to happen at Elimination Chamber. I either believe he's I don't think he's even going to win that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to win anything unless Triple H really wants him. But I think he's there to put over everyone, make everyone look fantastic, make Gunther look fantastic, make Ludwig look fantastic, make all these upcoming, make Carmelo, make everyone pop.
Yeah.
But also have these great, fantastic matches with KO, with Cody, with Randy, with CM Punk.
Yes.
Like, they're there in the making. He has 24 appearances, I think.
In WrestleMania?
No. I'm saying like throughout the year.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I was saying he was going on 24.
So there's I think those amount of matches. But the Rumble, it's going to come down to him in the Final Four.
Yeah, he'll be in the 4.
I'll give it that at least.
He'll be in the 4.
So I want to do something real quick before.
Because you just want to believe, that's what's great about this is like there's an underlying story with Cena that is just nostalgic enough that you're like, that would be really cool. But Cena's also
young guys too.
Right. But like Cena's not a Hogan. That don't work for me, brother. Like Cena will go out being fine with that.
Yes.
And there's something to be said for that, dude. So, and you're right. It would bring an elevated level to every match he had. It's the chase. Cena still has one last chase. There's nothing better than that.
And I mean, if he does go out, if it is his time to take it over, I mean, would people be putting his name in front of Ric Flair as the greatest then?
No.
I don't know.
It's different eras. That's the hard part. It's like trying to compare Babe Ruth to Barry Bonds.
Sure.
It really is, right? I mean, it's a hard one. But, what I love about this era more than anything is we have come back to, at least in the WWE, that everything is story driven. We're going to review Smackdown, and every match that's on this card has meaning, whether it is disrespect, whether it's chasing a title, but there's something, right? It isn't just, hey, here's 2 guys. And I respect the athleticism of what they do.
Sure.
But I'm really kind of bored when I just watch 2 dudes who have nothing to fight and do a bunch of crazy moves on each other. And I mean, I appreciate it, but like,
of course,
what does it mean to me? Right? Like,
or if it's Andrade versus Carmelo 7 times in a row.
Now you're stacking
the
that
same way. Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it gets boring after the same. You're going to expect the same thing. You have to switch it up sometimes.
Yeah. So what did you have with Cena? You had something you're pulling up.
All right,
you got excited on that. Oh Jesus, it's a shame.
Can you hear it at all?
Yes.
I think
Jackson was covering his ears so much, worried about pyros. I see it. It's short. Yeah. But here he comes. Like, this is the most ridiculous shit in the world.
By the way, you still got it. Chance raining down on Shane O'Mac.
Yep. You never had it. Good job, McAfee, but you never had it.
No.
Just because he was featured there and you and I were texting on some chat and stuff, Riddle, he's the MLW World Champion.
Is he?
He just won it at their last pay-per-view.
Okay. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah. That's great.
So that's the thing, though, is when we say AEW lit the fire, it also brought the underneath with it again. I mean, it ain't ECW, but you have MLW that's starting to thrive. You have TNA, who just signed a huge deal with WWE, like Talent Share, right? And so you do have these indies that are coming up again because wrestling is coming up. It's going to be interesting to see that, like, WWE started that, like, minor leagues, right, where they're going to buy promotions. So that's going to be interesting to see. This TNA thing too. We're going to see that at the Rumble.
100%. Who you thinking?
Dude, one that's going to be there, whether it's good or bad, it's just so laughable. Is like his name is Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is
Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he appears.
Believe.
Like Joe Hendry's going to be there. Jordan Grace is going to be full time in the WWE within the next 3 months.
At some point. Right?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'd love to see Josh Alexander come back and pair up with Ethan Page. Mm-hmm. They were a great tag team in TNA and played off each other very well. Yeah, they were fantastic.
Oh, Ethan Page is in TNA too?
He's in NXT.
I know he's in NXT now. I was saying
he was in TNA prior, yeah. And him and Josh Alexander were like Team Canada or some nonsense. But like they were a great tag team.
Fuck, man.
Which, by the way, we'll see one of those ex-TNA wonderful tag teams tonight once we get to our ramble from going to SmackDown.
1 second.
Now that Joe Hendry song's stuck in my fucking head.
I was going to say my dark horse, as much as I love him, man, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. I want to see him get another run, dude.
He needs it. He deserves it.
This is cool. They've started doing this more like the walk-in.
Yeah.
But having it with the announcers is a cool little... I'd like to see Wade Barrett have another match.
Oh, I mean, it was teased that with McIntyre.
It was. And that could still be working.
It could.
Look, I know it's a recency bias, but I think Tiffany's cash-in was one of the best that I've seen.
It was very uniquely different. I liked it.
It was the whole story leading up to it, right? Like her with Nia and everything else, right? It's like the way that it built up. Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, so it's just a video that's condensed into like an hour.
Yeah. Well, it's cool to have Ray starting the show off. Of course, we're in San Diego, so that helps.
Right.
Him and Penta are going to cross paths at some point. It's just going to matter like how, right? Is he going to come in with Penta to go against like the whole LWO? Is he going to fight Penta? Him and Penta fought in Lucha Underground. Ray had a season in Lucha.
You were mentioning that.
Yeah.
I need to see that.
I love his mask, dude. I love his mask.
Yeah, his attire was so great.
Fucking, it's
baseball
ridiculous.
Style. Yeah, I loved it,
dude. Everything he does everywhere is like that. It's crazy. But I will tell you, like, we'll get to the end of this part, but like, this might be my favorite Kevin Owens of all time.
Oh man,
this Kevin Owens is so good.
So good.
So good.
Just wearing the shirts of your opponent and then beating them. That's just on another level. I love that. Just the thought process behind that.
Well, and the thing is with him and Drew, who people will say are like hated right now.
Right.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong.
What they're saying is not wrong.
Not at all.
Right? So that's the beauty of this storytelling is like you can call them a villain, but they ain't lying. It's legit.
It is. I'm down for Drew. I'm down for KO. I mean, even this shirt. Did you see the like the video or the picture going around with Dusty wearing the same one?
Oh, dude, that's funny. That's funny.
It's never been a secret.
Yeah.
I respect as much.
Still wearing that. I mean, what I'm loving right now is the callback to obviously Shawn Michaels and Razor's feud.
Oh yeah, the winged eagle,
Yep.
the fact that he's carrying the winged eagle, I love it.
hmm
Because look, if I'm stepping in front of the sword, I'll step in front of the sword, dude. I am getting a little bored of Cody's run. I've never been a giant Cody fan. That just is what it is. But
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bored of it. Like,
Right.
it's old school wrestling. It's always more fun to watch the face chase, right? That he's going after the bad guy to go win the belt. It's really hard to have a long run as like the hero.
I don't understand how Hulk Hogan did it. It was a different era back then, clearly.
That was it. Yeah. Yeah. And
no other reasons.
But what's great, there are little pieces underneath with Cody where you start to see chips. There's just little things where you start to see like he's ready to turn.
Heelish? Yes.
Yeah, there's some healing. Like it's oh, called him Dirty Dom.
Yep. And see, now this makes sense on why they have a match tonight.
100%. Oh, this whole storyline, dude.
The
Bianca Belair, like, and Jade Cargill, like, we got to know who this is, right? It had to be Naomi. Had to be. Naomi's the one who put Cargill down.
I mean, it's too obvious.
Which is why it's perfect. We're overthinking the whole deal because she stepped in to be the tag team. She's the one that's investigating it. And it's like, oh, there's no leads. Like, it's gonna be Naomi.
She did. Let's pause.
No, it's time to move Bianca back to the singles division as well. Like the tag team thing's been fun, but
it has been.
It's time, right?
It is. Yep.
And I think that happens. I'm telling you, I think it's Naomi that put Jade down. Jade will come back and go after Naomi. They'll be split off. Bianca can pull out. Right?
Sure. Yep.
We'll see how that rolls.
That makes sense. Now, if we go with my theory, where Bianca is the one that unfortunately did it and just wanted to steal all the glory away from her. They're the same style wrestler. She's threatened by this new person coming from a brand new company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not brand new company, but
right.
And what's the thing that you want to do? You want to get closest to your enemies.
Right. Keep your enemies closer.
So what do? You become tag team champions with her. How else to know her the best? How else to know to get closer to her? That's the best way to go about it. You're day in and day out, even doing drives with her.
The whole deal. Well, and with the Street Profits prior, Bianca was again showing some like darkness, right? A lot of these characters are light and dark. Dude, I would love to lead up to a WrestleMania match between Bianca and Jade, and that don't need a title, son.
That
don't need a title. That's just a great match with the story that you just told.
Sure.
She took out the young one because she don't want to lose the spot.
Yep.
Now let's go.
Yep.
I like that.
And it turns
better than Naomi because Naomi will get wiped out. I mean, I like her, but she's gonna get wiped out.
That's and that's another reason behind it too. Like Naomi's great. Like they're not giving Jade her full potential yet because she's been tagged. Obviously, she's still new to the WWE scene, see how everything works. So I think that's probably the real reason why she is a tag team champion with Bianca, with a more seasoned vet. So I feel that Naomi is the safest route to go. You don't know what Bianca as a heel looks like. You can see Jade as a heel. She just She just got that
spits
face,
it.
man.
Mhm.
She's either way.
She just embodies it.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, physically, she is the most impressive woman I've ever seen in a wrestling ring. Physically.
Really?
I mean, dude, she has like biceps. Right? I mean, but she has biceps. That's what I'm saying. Is like Charlotte's awesome, but she ain't got like bicep and like a six pack. Like Jade is cut. Like
you said it. Maybe you just said it. Maybe you said the answer. Who's coming back?
That's true too. Yep.
Steal her little diamond.
This is true.
Yeah.
In the back of my head, we'll get to it, but I got other plans for Charlotte.
Okay. All right.
Let's roll through.
You should probably take his advice. Anyway, I'm just not sure if that's good news or not, because there's a lot of time with that in mind. I have an addendum. I need Kevin to sign it, because I can't have what happened this Saturday.
Well, I'm not going to sign it.
He's my next stop.
But imagine in real life, though, right? Like, I think Simon Miller even said it. Imagine in real life, somebody was just like, hey, your contract, I have an addendum on it, just sign it. Like, well, wait a second. Like, let me read the motherfucker.
Exactly.
There comes Naomi.
She comes.
Yo, they've done a great job with Nia Jax over the last year. They really have.
They have.
Yeah, they made her believable.
They definitely have.
Yeah.
You ever seen Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Do you remember in the scene with Regina George where her top gets cut?
Uh-huh.
And then she walks it. That's what Naomi's outfit reminds me of.
It is. Look, I like Candice LeRae is trying to like find her way.
Yeah.
I just wonder, where the hell is Indy Hartwell? Did they let her go, or is she still around?
No, dude, they let her go like 3
months ago. Oh, that sucks.
It does. They're gonna keep. Oh my God. Electra Lopez around.
Yeah. And then who else later? Like BFAB or something like that, or like one of those. Like,
what about BFAB?
I think she wrestles like later, right? She's still around.
She wrestles Piper.
It's such a shame because I don't think enough people watched NXT to see The Way. Right? The Way was so good. Indy and Johnny and Austin Theory. It was so good. And Bianca is freakishly big. She's strong, dude.
She is.
All 4 of these participants played a role in last week's.
But yeah, man, I mean, the moves that Candice has are great. She has a great move set. But there's nothing to her. She needs more. She needs some kind of storyline other than this.
Yes. Well, like in modern day, we don't have quote unquote jobbers, right? I mean, everybody can win something somewhere, but Candice is kind of that. She's great at selling.
Yep.
She knows what she's doing.
Yep.
Nia, though, I remember when she was a joke, bro. When she broke Becky's nose.
Yep.
Like everything was she botched.
Every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
Injured so many people. I mean, that's why Bayley still has heat with her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's still very dangerous. You see some of those avalanches in the corner, and you're like, bitch, you weigh 300 plus. Like, get off my chest.
I mean, we're talking about Violet, like what the hell?
Valkyria?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that Queen of the Ring. Holy shit.
Dude, she's 110 pounds and Nia's just crushing her chest. Like, how do you not break ribs?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Drop kick from Candice. That had to be expert.
The Street Profits getting like a little bit hillish buys into Bianca. it would be good with seeing Bianca like go a little heel.
If you're saying while with them together, or you're just
Maybe.
saying like them going similar paths.
I can see them doing it together, but you got to, if she goes heel, but you got to get them connected, right? And I'm really hoping that at some point, as the Wyatt 6 progresses, because they're on SmackDown now, right? That you tell the story of Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross, that's a great story to bring in. Shit, why am I saying our girl there?
Alexa?
No, Candice.
Oh, Candice.
Candice LeRae.
Nikki?
Remember Candice? Yeah, Nikki had a little thing with Candice LeRae. Remember back in the day, she was following her around like right before the Wyatt 6.
Oh, yes,
she was always hanging in the background and like, yeah. So there's like something there. I think they didn't know what the fuck to do with Nikki at the time, but it could come back.
What happened? She came up to her and said, "Will you be my friend?"
Mm-hmm.
And then she said no. They laughed at her, and then it just fizzled out.
It was right after she went from like Super Nikki with like the superhero, right? And then she was trying to go back to her own little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just kind of followed Candice LeRae around. But there's a story there.
There is.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they would have played more on The Miz and Dexter Lumis.
Yeah.
Would have hyped that up a little bit more. I mean, I'm glad that they referenced it. That was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know, just a little bit more from it.
I think you and I both are big Bray Wyatt fans, and we're very excited about the Wyatt 6. And like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm perfectly fine with them just being a background group that like finds their spot like they did with Chad Gable and stuff like that, because it was still really cool.
It was.
But I'm so afraid that it's just gonna fall away. Like, one of the great things about Bray was the Firefly Funhouse. It'd be kind of cool if they just did a Bo Dallas like Firefly Funhouse and everybody was in there, right? Because with the Wyatt 6, all you have is like this creepy extra shit.
Yep.
And there's not that like connection of different, right? I don't know.
Maybe that's what Alexa brings.
That would be nice.
If she joins, maybe she brings her little playground. Unfortunately,
that would be cool.
Involved Lily, but
Jesus, right?
You get the good with the bad sometimes.
Shayna Baszler running from Lily, I'll never forget.
My God, yeah, that memory's now stuck in my head too. Yeah,
it's done.
Taking a little.
All right, so we get through this again. Nice win, Bianca Belair, the tag team champs, pull it out.
From a sellout.
It was all right.
It was a good match.
I love this so much.
It was.
And I really
Bayley.
felt like
I loved her Niner vest, man. Me and about it.
Yeah. You were there.
It was really good.
championship
Like,
today. So tonight is a really big night.
It's still tough for me too. It's like,
what Tiffany Stratton can do. This
I don't know if I like
Bayley
Bayley better as a heel or a face, you know?
Right. Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I love the old hugger thing, but
yeah. But even that
rolls.
played out a little bit.
It did.
But all of it does at some point. It's like people grow up.
Thank you, my spicy little secret herbalist. I am the only one.
Chelsea Green has fucking blown me. She's blown me away.
Yeah,
she's fun.
She
really
really
fun.
is. I'm loving it. It's so funny, man. Piper looks exactly like Amy does. Exactly like a T. And she used to work at this company, Morphe or something, and would have to wear exactly what she wears now.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's even funnier now.
That's funny. Yo, now this is interesting.
Him walking up.
Well, no, it's just trying to make Jimmy a singles guy. They pulled it off with Jay, the whole yeet and everything else. But like, Jimmy has always kind of been, right? Like, you remember the first Roman Reigns Jay match? The guy quit in the cage. The only reason he quit because he was going to hurt Jimmy.
That's correct.
Jimmy's always been like the last dude, right?
He has, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, right? So it's cool to watch him kind of try to grow.
I agree. I like him over Jay.
I kind of do too.
I
Jay's
think
played
he's
out for me,
funnier.
dude.
He's hysterical. His song is a fucking banger.
It is a banger.
His outfit, I don't know about his outfit yet though. But
This dude?
No, Jay or Jimmy.
No, I know, but this dude?
Yep.
He's the future, bro.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
I love the mellow don't miss.
Yep.
It's just
He says
Yep.
And his moveset.
It's awesome.
In this game to not miss. It has been taking shots from the logo. Yeah, Big Jim put his sunglasses on. But Mellow snap, super kick to the jaw.
And Jimmy's always been the heart. Like he sells great. He has a great he's always been the guy that holds that sort of together.
Right.
You know, he was the dude in every Usos match that took the beating so he could give the hot tag to Jay.
Of course.
Right. It was
He
like
did all the grunt work.
for
Love
me
that.
back in the day, that was Robert Gibson on the Rock and Roll Express. Like Ricky Morton was always on the side, and Robert would just take all the beating, right?
Gotcha.
And then Robert would tag in Ricky, and shit would go nuts, right?
Ricky was the guy.
Ricky was the dude.
I can't. Just looking at him, I can't.
The
picture
long
Ricky
hair.
being the guy. Yeah.
That's a good little dive right there, Jim.
It was.
Oh, I think you told me, like, all of a sudden with these new deals, the announcer tables have been upgraded.
They
ain't breaking, dude.
ain't no one saying. Yep, they are not breaking. They are not breaking. No, that spot is over.
It's done.
It
looks very
no more.
painful, right? It's very painful now. Because
Oh
like
my
they'll
God,
do the
yeah.
move up there, but the shit don't move. It's just like whoop.
No.
Dude, you'll appreciate. I am the table.
Yeah.
But in full control is that.
Love the DDT. Love that.
Yep.
Love that jump in reverse.
Very bright things in the future of Carmelo
But
Hayes.
what I've noticed in this match, though,
Mhm.
you can call it out. The amount. I love this spot.
Oh, double
Not that spot's not done all the time.
Carmelo, who is
Yeah.
Do a suplex, boom. They're
Right,
both
right.
their arms are going to lay on each other at some point.
Right,
Loved it.
just throw the arm over. It's just a logical thing.
Correct. But he went for the whisper in the wind. They call it the Uso in the wind now.
I like that though. I like that.
I'm liking.
The more
I'm
that-
liking Joe is making up more name or not making up. Well, he does make up names, and I'm hoping that they stick.
I like Testator. I do.
That's good.
I love the pop-up Samoan.
Yep.
And like I don't want his finish to be this. Like you got to do something different than the Uso splash.
That and that's what I'm leading up to. You're seeing all these moves that are very similar to whom?
Jay, bro,
Wow.
it was
Like it's a plug and repeat. Boom.
Mhm.
Hit him with was that the spear? That might have been the spear there.
My God, but that's why it was hard to watch Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was like fighting Sub-Zero versus Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat. Like it was the same dude. There's the spear,
Yeah.
and now he goes up,
Yep. But then of course,
and here we go. Here we go.
to just to ruin the
Tamatonga
match.
looks like a madman. Tamatonga looks like a madman.
He does. He looks like a psychopath. He reminds. I think Amy said he reminds her of Eddie from the Hyenas from the Lion King.
Yeah. They have done an unbelievable job of making him what he is. This dude is a monster, bro. The size that he is and the way he moves. You and I talk about again, like I watched him in MLW. This guy is, when they turn it up, I can't wait to see like him and Roman. Cannot wait.
I mean, not to spoil anything. I mean, obviously it's a review right now, but him and Braun.
Oh, that'll be
Saturday night main
fun.
event.
That'll be that's gonna be good, dude. And it's gonna solidify one or the other. Yeah.
Correct. And obviously, no spoilers, but Jacob's winning that. That's Braun's laying for it.
It's gonna be to make Jacob even more, right? Because eventually Jacob is gonna take out Solo.
He has to.
Yeah. But I keep waiting on this because from the beginning, if you remember, Solo kept saying it's by orders of the tribal chief.
Right.
Now Jacob cut his first promo.
He did.
Yeah. First one.
Besides a little talking to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to act like I ain't never got mine. I was off their hinges. But you thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? That's a scary thought.
Bro. Oh, here he comes. LA.
Love that it came from behind.
I do love that there's a title involved here.
Yes.
Right?
Wait, what title?
Oh, didn't LA wear the title? He didn't have one? Oh, shit, I missed that. I thought he had won the title back. But no, Shinsuke still has it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, right here. Oh.
Seriously, just the size.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. They did set it. It's just him and Braun, right?
It's him and Braun, and then it's LA versus Tama on Smackdown next week.
Make you guys champions just yet. Remember that.
And man,
that's fine.
Los Gatos,
yeah,
no one is handing us.
They're putting in some work.
You take
good,
it
dude.
Okay.
I'm really digging their style.
My favorite John Moxley, Dean Ambrose match of all time was against Humberto. When he fought Humberto when he first came up, it was amazing. Humberto looked phenomenal. And Moxley carried him through it, and it was great, dude. But these guys, I don't know if the WWE truly they got to give these guys mic time. They got to get the Motor City Machine Guns some mic time.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean, like you see them backstage, right? But they haven't cut a promo.
No, they have not.
Right? Like, they're good. You know, Alex Shelley. I mean, those guys individually. Earlier in the year,
more of the talker.
Probably Alex Shelley, because earlier in the year he was the TNA champion.
Really?
And he was the world champion, and he was carrying that. And he was better on the mic than I thought he would be. Chris Sabin, I never really heard.
Gotcha. He seems a little bit more quieter.
Well, the role that Alex Shelley was playing was like asshole heel. I'm the veteran. I've been here for forever. You don't know. Like, it was good though.
Did Eric Young try to pull that off too?
He kind of did. I missed that Eric Young. Eric Young would have been so good with the White Six, but he rolled out. He rolled out because of the whole Vince thing. Is that an actual tattoo on Humberto?
No, they're just little paint jobs.
Okay, something like that. But Angel Garza is really good.
He is,
and so's Humberto.
Look, yes.
For the WWE fans, I think one of the most fun matches that they're gonna see is it's gonna be Penta and Rey Fenix versus Los Garza. Oh, bro, they're gonna go nuts. They're gonna go nuts.
Damn.
Put Humberto and Angel. Put Humberto and Angel with Penta and Phoenix.
The quickness.
I
I'm
Smooth.
liking the styles though, man. Like they're
It's
they're
awesome.
they're meshing so well together.
It's good. Well, that's
And
that's
all
where
tag
Motor was.
teams.
Oh, that looks like brutal.
Don't forget.
Motor City Machine Guns taking on
The Motor City Machine Gun, like Shelly and Sabin, they've been around a long time.
Right.
I mean, they're like fucking Chris Daniels. I mean, they've been around for forever.
Correct. AJ Styles around that whole Shark
By the
Boy
way-
kind of scene.
By the way, where is AJ? Maybe Royal Rumble? Like, where's AJ? He's not done.
Maybe he's doing house shows like across the pond or something.
I don't know. Royal Rumble would be a great time to bring him back, but you got to reinvent him, right? You got to do something different.
I mean, I don't see mind just tagging him up with the OGs and just
I think that would be great.
see in there, man.
I love those guys together.
Then they get screen time again. They've
Yes.
been the luckiest people to just sit and collect a paycheck, and they've been real with it too.
Well, I don't know. There was some offshoot like YouTube play something that Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson did. I forget what they called it, but they had their own little like
The WWE thing, you mean? The
they
bump,
had like a
like
wrestling
a Botchamania thing?
Yeah, they had like a wrestling company, but it was all like bullshit, way over the top characters in the backyard, like
Okay,
literally in the backyard. And they had like characters that they played, like
Okay.
Doc Gallows. It was funny. Sabin, dude, the finisher. I love the finisher for the Motor City Machine Guns, bro.
Do you really?
Dude, I really like it. I miss the team finishers.
I dig a team finisher, but for a team like that, I was expecting something more. I was expecting him to maybe do like a 450 instead
that
of
would
just
be
a
even better.
splash.
Right.
Just
But like theirs reminds me of Doom, the old tag team Doom.
Yep.
This is classic.
He won't sign it until you sign it.
Oh, yes. First, I'm not doing that right now. I have a match. Stop trying to distract me.
Nick.
My favorite in that is like in that play, Kevin Owens goes, "Stop trying to distract me. I'm taping my wrists."
Yeah.
Like Kevin is so good, dude. When he had Michael Cole come meet him in his car, to do the interview.
Yep.
Get out of my car. Get out of my car.
He's over the top with it, but I love
He
it.
is.
You mentioned
It's
it,
great.
man.
And it's probably going to work toward him and Sammy at WrestleMania. I think that's going to be the story, right?
You think that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you get past Cody, where does he go?
Ah.
Everybody keeps bringing up the Sammy thing, and he was like, "I'll take care of that later." And he brought up winning the tag team titles at WrestleMania, and I'd be interested. I mean, if you put him, dude,
Sure. I
The
wouldn't
old
mind a
school.
WrestleMania match with him.
the old school, El Generico versus Kevin Steen, those matches were
I've
nuts. Right.
I mean, YouTube wise, but
Yeah. Well, remember when Sami Zayn first won the NXT title and Kevin Owens had just gotten signed and he came down the ramp and they were like, "Oh my God." And he powerbombed him on the apron.
Right.
I'd like B-Fab being in the ring. I like this because she's got talent.
She does. Yeah.
I wish we still had Swerve.
Yeah. I mean, it was they had a good song, at least a little hit row song, but I didn't watch Swerve as much. I didn't you watch more NXT, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I've always waited until they got to the roster because I'm like, why put all my dedication into it? No offense.
Right,
But,
no.
you know, now it is completely different. I'm thinking of that concept like years and years ago. But
Yeah.
everyone has seemed to have made it except for, you know, almost.
One or two here. Right. Well, I mean, like Vince screwed up a whole bunch of guys. Right? I mean, he didn't handle Rusev right. He didn't handle Malachi right. He didn't handle a bunch of guys right. But Triple H was down there running it when they were putting on those crazy. This is what I don't like. They kind of squashed her.
They kind of
Me
did.
too.
I mean, it was supposed to at least. I thought it was supposed to at least get them camera time,
which is good.
That was my thought. They got B-Fab to get her kicks in, which were good, but then get the distraction, get Chelsea her time, and then get Michin out there.
Yeah. Michin's, well, you know what, dude? When I think of Michin, Keith Lee. Where the hell is Keith Lee? I mean, even in AEW, where's Keith Lee?
Is he dealing with personal issues, right?
I mean, he had some health stuff or something. But I think in like real life, him and Michin are like together.
Yeah, they're married.
Right.
Yep.
So I think a lot of guys are going to be coming back to AEW. It's one of those, the grass is greener.
Should be awesome.
Until you go.
And you know what? I think a lot of them will be open armed back. Hugs.
Absolutely. I don't think, if we took Cody back, Cody destroyed the fucking throne with a hammer, right? They'll bring him back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it was the Vince era.
Yeah.
You're
the only one
now. Someone else.
The only one who won't come back, and unfortunately, Tony Khan cannot stop like fucking just garbling his balls, is John Moxley. Moxley's going to stay there forever.
It gets real.
And it's awful.
I mean, to me, I mean, we've talked about it before. I'm kind of cool with it. He wasn't my biggest fan. Maybe to come back to do an AEW versus WWE Worlds Collide type thing for like a one match only.
Yeah,
sure, but stop bleeding in every match, man.
That's my problem. Like, as a person, I love the Dean Ambrose or John Moxley, but like, Moxley's idea of wrestling has always been that GCW death match,
CZW,
like CZW shit,
XPW.
Right, and so when Tony Khan goes, do whatever you want. Moxley's cutting people with pizza cutters and shit. And you're like, dude, if I see blood 5 matches in a row, I don't care about your blood.
Right.
Like, right. Same way we talked about earlier. Penta hit a Mexican destroyer, and the crowd went nuts. Because they hadn't seen 20 of them before he came out.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. Just, you got to save these, Victoria.
Yeah. Oh, look at her. Hey, Tiffany Stratton's something different, too. But we'll get to that.
She's definitely
Ray. He's old, dude. I mean, I've literally watched. Like, you remember You remember WCW when they took his mask?
I do.
Right. Like, he was a kid. He was a kid.
Filthy Animals, right? Filthy.
Yeah, they started with that. The Filthy Animals. It was him and Saturn and fucking all those guys that came out. Eddie Conan.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, he looked the part, but he's more iconic with the mask.
Way more with the mask. He wasn't like an ugly dude. It's just like babyface, right? It's like babyface. The mask means so much more.
It does.
Look, I love this part too. Kevin will go up to them and shake their hand. Like, Kevin's the greatest heel. He's so good.
He is. He's getting up there. He's getting very, very good.
Look, the look on Ray's face. Oh yeah.
He wants them to sign an addendum when they once again by GM Nick Aldis. As far as I'm aware, neither man.
He's wearing Ray's shirt. It's just the greatest, dude.
It is.
It's just so good.
I'm loving it. I hope he continues this trend and he does not go back to the KOs.
No, I love this
Changed
one.
his pants already.
Yeah.
So no more shorts.
No, I love this one, dude. I love this one.
There were a couple mistakes in this match. More on KO, I would say.
Yeah.
But they at least they went on the fly when they're supposed to go outside the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to hit him. He's going to clothesline him outside the ring. He doesn't go, and he catches him. And then he'll talk to him once he puts him up on the apron.
Okay.
Again, the only reason I know this is because I literally just watched it at like 1 o'clock. So
yeah, so you see the botch in this. It's like,
but it's nice because they play it off. They recognize it, and instead of him trying to clothesline him 3 times and it not working, they do something different because that's what a professional does.
Yes, that's the issue, dude. It's like
right here.
There you go. Oh, Kev was supposed to go over. Kev was supposed to go over, yeah.
He flips him over.
And now here.
This is all staged. Talks to him right there.
Right
and
there.
now they're almost back on cue right here.
Yeah. I think when Ray went over the top, Kev was supposed to flip.
He was.
That little missile, right?
With us here on Friday Night Smackdown.
It's great. I mean,
oh no, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying when you watch these guys professionally do this, it's fantastic. And you hear old stories about how they call it in the ring, you know? Like the guys just know what they're doing and they trust each other and they roll with it. And I will say this, I've heard a lot of veterans say that one guy they trusted more than anybody in the ring was Christian. They used to love Christian. Like they said Christian could call a match.
I did hear that. I think Randy said that.
Oh, he's being wasted in AEW too. Turtlenecks and shit.
He is.
He does have a decent gimmick though. See, you telling everybody how their dad died.
Yeah.
And he's their daddy now. Brutal. It's brutal.
I the only little piece of AEW I get, I think, is like from Botchamania.
Oh yeah.
From Promo Joe.
That's it. Dude, MJF's promos are fantastic. Christian is playing the greatest dick of he's ever done because that's Christian.
Right.
Fucking Edge has been Adam Copeland. Now he's Cope. I don't know. I'd love to. Yeah, he's just Cope. That's what they call him now.
All right.
I'd love to see FTR come back. I'd love to see FTR come back to the WWE, but
they had their chance. What? A couple of months ago, I think their contract was almost up.
But if I'm a wrestler, like real life, I'd do AEW. If AEW is going to pay me WWE money, and I've already wrestled for forever, and my schedule's going to be nothing, right? I only got to wrestle 2 times a week to travel, right?
Exactly.
As opposed to WWE that's making you compete all the time in a way. I get it. If I'm younger, I want to go to WWE to make a name for myself.
Right. I agree. I mean, plus get your feet wet a little bit. But
yes.
Yeah, if you're retiring like the Big Show, my man's probably still being paid. Mark Henry, I think Mark Henry came back.
No, Mark Henry left. No, he left AEW because he's went on Busted Open.
He got busted. Yeah, you're
fucking
right.
Hope he's killed him. Oh,
I wanted to mention this. So he just hit him with his old finisher,
the pop-up powerbomb, yeah,
which is now technically his signature move if we're going by video game standards.
Yep.
And Sammy won with the Blue Thunder Bomb.
The most amazing, holy shit. You and I both talked about how we'll watch like ups and downs, right? And on the ups and downs, what does Simon Miller always say? The least effective move in all of wrestling. Nobody's ever pinned anybody off a Blue Thunder Bomb.
And it finally happened.
And it happened. I was blown away.
But from what you just mentioned, think about this now. Did Sammy had to have used that at some point as a finisher, right? Did he use it as El Generico?
Oh, yeah.
So
That
did
was one
Kevin
of them.
Steen use the pop-up power bomb as his finisher?
Steen did. That's a good
What if
point.
right there is the call that just put them back into their old
That puts them together.
and just
Yeah. I can see that easily. They had great matches together too.
yeah. They really did.
It was amazing. El Generico was just funny. I mean, that like
I didn't listen to anything that he's done.
no, he didn't really. Oh, this is awesome.
Sammy did.
This is awesome.
Anyway, this isn't even about them. Look in the hate people like that. You're at these.
I was wondering if Triple H made him shave or not.
Get your act
I don't
together.
know.
You want to make chin up, guys. See you next week.
Ellen Prince, that is.
Yeah,
What do you think they're doing with Apollo?
Nowhere.
I don't know.
Didn't Ricochet
No,
do this already? Or something close to it?
Yeah. Look, I'm going to tell you. I think the closest thing they had with Apollo was that whole Nigerian thing.
Yep.
I was in on that, dude. I was in on that. You had
Speaking of
that
that, what happened
Nigerian
to what's his
heritage.
name? Is he the Captain Anzari? Captain with his little sidekick guy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Where's dude?
Commander?
MLW.
Oh yeah.
Dabo, whatever.
Yep.
Right. MLW.
Mm.
Right, he's in MLW now.
Okay.
But I love that. I loved that when like Apollo was doing that. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Right?
it was
And it was I think a Commander Aziz or something.
Commander Aziz. Yep. Good job.
Yeah. And it was great. And I loved when he did that. But I'm also loving the heel version of Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Right here,
I
bud.
like that it's comedic.
Yo.
Yep.
Right before who comes out?
Correct.
When you watch the video, you almost felt like it was for Tiffany, right?
Oh, I 1,000% did. I 100% was like, oh damn, Tiffany's first.
But
Yep. So that's
remember
what
remember Charlotte versus Rhea?
Yep.
How good that was?
That was fantastic.
Tiffany's really good, really quick, man.
She skyrocketed.
I try to pick it apart, but when you really watch it on any video or back, it truly is the prettiest moonsault ever. Dude, she is in perfect. She's in perfect spot. Like it is. She don't miss. She don't hit knees and head. Like it's the pretty. It's gorgeous, dude.
And even when she's not trying to hit it, she still hits it.
Yeah.
Meechin.
Center of the universe tonight is well and
Tiffany time. I love the gimmick.
Gimmick's great. Got the cocky attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Got everything to back it up now. And she can go. Moveset is great.
This is going to sound incredibly sexist of me. You might have to edit it out later. But I think it was like a year ago that I realized that Bayley was so thick, bro. Like,
I know,
Bayley's
right?
thick, right? I was like, how? What the? Like,
Like it came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Right, like, all of a sudden, like she was like, "Oh, I'm hugging," and then I was like, "Holy shit!" Like,
Right. People were paying too much attention to the front side of the hug.
Yeah, on the back side of the hug, I was like, there was a whole lot of shit going on I didn't see.
Correct.
Dude.
Right now we have our hands full with what could
Tiffany.
be
Oh yeah. The selling in WWE is just so much better.
It is. It really is.
It's almost like AEW doesn't sell. Paul,
No, they just want pops. They want to put as much moves in as possible.
Dude, Cody took a package pile driver in the middle of the ring, and they carried him out on a stretcher.
Carried him out.
People are doing double Canadian destroyers on the apron and then kicking out at 2.
Correct.
Yes, it's all fake, but at least buy in, dude. At least
I know.
Just let us have our fantasy. This.
I was going to say she almost did the Pentas move snap.
Oh,
Like,
that
it
little arm snap.
looked very similar to it.
Mhm.
And I was like, because she never did it before, I don't believe. I'm wondering if she took it.
Again, taking out that leg.
I love that she just stepped straight up, man. The women's division is full over here.
Tiffany has been forced to completely go cold.
Yeah,
She is acquitting herself
but it could
quite well.
get a lot better, obviously. How do you feel about Dakota losing that match, man?
I don't like it. I think Dakota should have won that match. Like she's been a glue. Like we talked about Chad Gable earlier. Like Dakota doesn't have a bad match. She can wrestle with anybody.
She can.
She plays her role, whatever it may be, very well. Right. Through promos or whatever spot she's supposed to be in. Like when Bayley was getting kicked out of Damage Control, like Dakota Kai was the perfect, like, yeah, she should have won that. She should have won.
I agree.
Yep. It is one of those, again, there's plenty of time for Laya Valkyria to win that belt.
I know, man. All the injuries that Dakota has, like, come on. And plus, I thought she was Triple H's girl. Like, I was really shocked by that.
Now, maybe they do turn it into a chase, right? She goes back and goes after it. I mean, we don't know who's going after Lyra next, but Dakota, and I still feel that way about Natalya. I really do. Like, I would love Natalya to have some sort of belt, but she's not going to get it.
I don't know if she even wants a belt at this point, though.
She might not, right? She probably doesn't.
We say that because she's older in age, but they probably at least still want a belt. I mean, but they're not doing anything.
She's grinded for so long and held this division together for so long, like legitimately, right? Oh, there you go, Roxanne.
I wonder who's going to be in the women's rumble,
or. We got NXT coming up real soon, right? Like an NXT.
Yeah.
That was a nice little reversal of the Bayley to belly.
Yeah.
It turned into an arm drag.
Yeah, the whole match she kept dealing with her arm. I like that she was continuing to work on it too.
Yes. I think we're gonna see Bayley and Roxanne Perez go at it in probably NXT. I think that's probably going to happen. Yeah. Which will be good. It's a great way to bring Roxanne in.
Right.
The newly minted WWE Women's Champ. The challenge from Bayley.
Beautiful reversal.
Yep.
That's when she did the go home.
Yeah. Here we go now. This is what you're missing. Right here, dude. This Alabama Slam, son.
Yeah.
Bob, like fucking Holly be proud.
I know. Where is Bob Holly at, man?
He's got to be an agent somewhere.
Like, let's get him back.
And dude, the backflip is.
Beautiful.
There we go. Look, overall, man, I think it was a great show. I think it was a fantastic show. Again, I think very telling that your main event is Bayley and Tiffany Stratton. You're not over the top with it. It's a main event that makes sense. The match you had before with KO and Ray, everybody has a story. I really think the WWE right now is hitting on every stride that you can possibly hit.
Sure, I agree.
You know,
everything, man.
It really is. It's a great show going off. You know, if I'm going 4 out of 5, I'm probably 4 out of 5. There's nothing I really hated on the show. There's nothing I didn't like, right?
Right.
I mean, like, there's nothing not to like. I mean, the BFAB squash maybe, but again, you got to make Piper Niven be a beast. You gotta create her too.
Yes. Right? Yeah, and I mean she's definitely a hunter girl.
Right. And then you wonder what's happening with Solo. I think it was a really cool, unexpected thing to have him come out, pick up the mic, not say a word, walk away, and then Fatu pick up the mic. There's still some there's something underneath that. So all in all, man, I think it's a great show and a great first one to watch and go through.
Correct. I do. Yeah, it was at least something we could go off of.
Again, they cover all bases. I mean, if you ask me what you wanted from a wrestling show, right? You have the Kevin and Cody story.
Yep.
You have Kevin and Ray telling the story of them and then having a match, right?
With Ray being its hometown in his
hometown, everything else. You have the women's tag team champions, which you're still kind of wondering who did what to who, right?
Correct.
And they have a match against Nia, and Nia in that match accidentally leg drops Candace.
She does.
Right. So now you're moving in a different on that. The Motor City Machine Guns. I love the Pretty Deadly and DIY thing because as goofy as Pretty Deadly looks and they act, they can go, dude. They can go.
And you know what had me questioning? If you notice, their disco ball was there that night. Mm-hmm. So either they had a pre-match or they're either doing a dark match or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they're very good.
Yes.
They're very good. And I love the backstage part of them being like the hey boy and Gargano and fucking Tommaso Ciampa, who could not be more different, right? Ciampa's just dirty grind. And so I think that eventually works to a nice little feud.
Yep.
There's just so much in every match that means something. This is, to me, dude, we're living in, for a long time, it's one of the best times of wrestling if you're watching WWE.
Hell yeah. WWE all the way. I agree.
3 hours. 3 hours.
3 hours. I know. It's do you think it's too much?
It might be. But
I understand getting everyone their time. Mm-hmm. Totally get that. I don't know if if we're going to get burnt out by it.
Could be
6 hours, not including the NXT.
Right. If you go back, you're talking about like 6 hours, right? Then you put NXT in, that's 8. Like it's a full day's work to watch these shows through the week. But here's the reason I say I don't know if it's too much. If you watch old Raws, there was some meaningless bullshit in the middle of it. Something that meant nothing, right?
Right.
We just went through this show. Every segment had a meaning. Everything went towards something, right? So there's a lot of talent there. And I think you can obviously tell that they've updated the writing group and creative, right? Because I think these guys are writing long-term stories. They have an end, as our old buddy Jim Cornette says, you book backwards, right?
Smart.
Here's what I want at Mania. How do I get it?
Correct. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They know these well in advance. I'm thinking, man, that Jade and Bianca could be nice at Mania.
Oh, it'll be great, dude. And then I was going to tell you my whole little plan with Charlotte. I truly do believe Charlotte wins the Rumble. And she challenges Tiffany. And Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania will be a hell of a match. And there'll be great promos leading up. Because Tiffany has the younger version and Charlotte has the I've been there, done that.
Yep.
Kind of the same role. I think that'll be phenomenal, right? I think you can build the Kevin and Sammy.
Yep.
I don't know where you're going with Cody. I don't know if it's going to be Roman again. I'd love for it. And I talked to Jackson about this. My 9-year-old is, I have a soft spot for Randy Orton, but there's a hell of a story to be told there, right? Legacy. Randy bringing Cody and Ted DiBiase Jr. underneath him, teaching them the ropes on how they went up. They turned on him. He went back. Like there's a lot of story between Randy and Cody.
There is. I agree.
That can be told. And some of it's dumb luck. It's like Cody fell into this shit. When he came back, everybody has a story with him. Right? Whether it was with his dad or as Gold or Star, whatever. Like everybody has a little bit of a story with him.
That is correct. And that's when I wasn't watching it as much. So I keep forgetting about all the stories that are already there, that were already planted by just a simple and then a walk away.
And who knows where they were going to go then, but they have a smart enough writing team now that, thank God, has not forgotten the past.
Correct.
And they look back at the past and they're like, oh, holy shit, we can do this.
Yep.
Right? And I love it.
That's great.
Outside of that, I'll tell you, like Jackson and I had a conversation the other night, and I said, hands down, I have to say it in our first podcast as we go through, there is no one inside the ring as good as Gunther. It just doesn't exist.
No, hands down. He is the best.
The guy is such a beast.
He is.
And it's realistic. It takes you back to like 30s and 40s wrestling, right? You feel like it's old school. They're actually throwing punches. Like Gunther is just thick and hard, and like the guys step up to it. It's I don't know who fights him at Mania. No idea.
Do we get him and Drew?
Oh,
do we get him and CM Punk? I mean,
him and Punk would be nice.
Does Gunther lose the title at Elimination Chamber to Seth Rollins, and then it's Rollins and Punk? I mean,
somebody, you got to think that that Rollins Punk match was really, really good.
I loved it. It
was great, and seeing that run back, I could absolutely love that. Right? Sure. Punk's done a lot of great work over here, and again, I think it's a congratulations to WWE on knowing how to handle people.
They did,
right?
Yeah.
Is know where to put them, right, and know how to put them in that story and where it goes. The other side story that I'm watching hard is like Sheamus. Sheamus needs to win that belt.
He does, and they're doing nothing with Breaker's run right now. How do you not have one of your most explosive guys be sitting on the sideline for the past few weeks? Makes no sense.
None.
Like, I don't get it.
None.
Like, you want someone to get excited. You want the young crowd. I mean, it's made of mold. Like, you genetically designed this freak of nature. Like, show him off.
They could have been running him on a Goldberg-X streak, right? A Goldberg. They could have just kept feeding him every week. It didn't even have to be Sheamus or Ludwig or anything else. Nope. You could go the old school, like throw Cameron Grimes, whatever. You know what? Throw him,
Cameron Grimes.
Any of those guys, right? But you take those lesser sort of whatever they are, and you throw them at Breaker and let him just destroy him. The way Piper Niven did to B-Fab. Like, build this monster. You could have been doing that all the time, right? But it's just sitting, which is weird.
It is weird.
Oh, by the way, my Rumble streak gets broken next year.
No?
There's zero chance.
Yeah.
We're not going to. Jackson and I aren't going to Riyadh.
No.
It's not happening.
That's crazy. I mean, I get that they can have the greatest Royal Rumble, but
I don't like it.
It's money based, man. It's gotta be.
It is. It is. I mean, it's all you sign that contract and you're making a shit ton of money. All that being said, it was really awesome to hear the crowd boo Hulk Hogan at the first Nitro the first Raw on Netflix. It was fantastic. It was great because
don't you like Hogan?
Look, I don't mean to step into it that way. The racist shit sucked, right? It was bad. It wasn't. I mean, it was bad, but but I would be hard pressed to say if anyone within this country of our ethnicity that I would not call racist were being filmed and recorded 24 hours a day. We probably said some shit we regret too.
Of course,
and I'm sure African Americans have, and everybody else have. We've all done it, right?
Right.
I used to listen to Bubba the Love Sponge all the time.
Oh, did you?
All the time, dude, on Sirius XM. So I knew how tight him and Hogan were, and he always talked about his wife, and he talked about how they were kind of open in their relationship and stuff. So when a sex tape came out that Hogan was banging Heather, I was like, makes sense, right? I think more for me was I will get sensitive in my shit about his creative control. That's what still bothers me about Hogan. That you had the finger poke of doom. Yep. That you had a guy who was, like we said earlier, Cena could come in and Cena will gladly put over the next guy.
He pulled one Hogan, which was against the Nexus.
Right.
Other than that,
which is ridiculous, dude.
Other than that, yes, I agree.
Yeah, my boy, Wrestling Bios, right? That ain't gonna work for me, brother.
No,
that don't work for me, brother. And I think that's where I get. I think that's where I get screwed up on Hulk, is the way that he was and the portrayal that he needed to have.
Sure.
Other people have their own reasons. But I like that because I keep hearing about like Goldberg. There was some little underneath rumble about like Goldberg coming back to challenge Gunther at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And
no, not at WrestleMania.
That it was a rumble. And if that happened, if Gunther didn't run through that dude in 2 minutes,
right?
Like if Gunther didn't Goldberg, it wouldn't be worth seeing, right?
No, correct.
So. Yeah. What about you? I mean, where are you at on Hogan?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was kind of shocked that he got booed, and I'm like, why is he getting booed? Are people still having a grudge against this guy? And yeah, apparently so. But something that Michael said, we wouldn't be here without him. And
very true.
That is 100% true. We wouldn't be. This is a new era. I get what they were trying to do with him, bringing him out, his sponsorship. Sure. I just don't believe he should have got the "fuck you, Hogan" chance.
Yeah.
The booing, okay, 50-50 maybe, but it was just an onslaught. Like, no respect at all. I thought it was too disrespectful.
That, you know what? I want to argue with you there. And I will say that I think we've had such a culture change that people are so beyond soft, man. And, they pretend to be offended because everybody else pretends to be offended. Right.
Correct.
And I think that is a problem. And you're right. We wouldn't be here without Hogan. No chance. Hogan changed everything.
Yep.
Because of him, he was the first guy to go mainstream, to do talk shows, to be out there in front of stuff, to do movies, to bring attention to wrestling, which allowed the WWE to expand, right?
Yeah.
And grow to what they did. So yeah, we as a wrestling fan, we'll always owe Hogan a lot, right? You can't not do. It's something that I go through in all sports. It's like baseball. when people look back at like Ty Cobb was, by today's standards, was an awful human being. He was horrible to everybody. He was a womanizer. He was openly racist. He was everything.
Damn.
But it was also in the fucking 40s and 50s. Like, what was the climate, right?
Exactly.
What was the climate, right? I mean,
yeah.
It goes back to like when people talk about like, oh, Benjamin Franklin had slaves. So did 90% of America. It wasn't like he was the only dude.
Right.
I mean,
correct.
So that is right. I think he doesn't get respect for what it was. So
that's fair, man. That's fair.
All right, man. So first episode,
boom,
in the can, man. Yo, Smackdown has been fun. We go back and review these things.
Yep.
You look, all you guys, as we get through this, James and I talked as we came into this. We're just two guys who really like wrestling and have been around for a long time doing it, and just want to get together and talk every week. And with that being said, we appreciate any and all comments. As we reviewed SmackDown, we're not above reviewing past SmackDowns and pay-per-views or anything else. If there's something special out there that you'd like to see us do, leave it in the comments. Right? Throw a like, throw a subscribe, and in the meantime, we're gonna ride this boat because I do think we got on the right time, man. I think this is a resurgence, and it's gonna be fun to watch this go because there's a lot of good young talent. There's a lot of great guys involved.
Sure.
All the WrestleMania talk we just had, we didn't mention The Rock.
We did not. It's just not going to happen. And if it does, I mean, we're thinking Roman, right?
Yeah.
Got to be Roman.
Yeah.
Got to be the Ufala. Need that back. Need the respect.
I do think, again, this new bloodline, when they first started saying it's by the direction of the tribal chief, I think very easily that's The Rock. And The Rock put this bloodline together. And, old school, new school, it is what it is, right? Yep. We forgot about Paul Heyman's, favor to CM Punk. What is it? Right?
Dude, I mean, we still got to find that out. Does that happen at the Rumble?
I don't know. What did The Rock put in Cody's hand? They're leaving breadcrumbs through everything, which is fantastic.
Perfect world.
It really is, dude. So, hey, you know what, dude? James, I love catching up with you on this. I hope you guys out there enjoy this. And if you do, give a like, give a subscribe. And we're going to keep doing this because no offense out there in internet land, but we're doing this for us. So jump on board. Yep. Right. You got anything else? Let's do one out.
Peace.
Done. Yes, sir.